What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make this video because if it wasn't for the company that I'm about to talk about, I would be up a lot more money in my stock market portfolio, and that would be Carnival Cruise Corporation. This is the company that I bought a bit heavy in January right before the pandemic started disrupting things, and sure enough, Carnival Cruise got hit bad. So today I will be comparing how the company was doing financially in the fourth quarter of 2019 versus in the first quarter of 2020. I will also be talking about what my thought process is behind what I plan to do next with this company and if I plan on deciding on buying, holding, or selling. But before I get into that, as always guys, if you like this type of content and want to stay up to date with how my portfolio is doing, make sure to subscribe down below and also give it a thumbs up because it really helps support the growth of this channel. With that being said, I'll take you down to my computer so you can see how my Carnival Cruise Corporation position has been doing lately, and like I said, what my next steps are with this company if I plan to buy, sell, or hold. Gotta stay hydrated to make sure I'm getting these stocks right. So with that, let's see what's been going on with CCL. Okay, so here we have my portfolio. It's sitting around $7,693, which is up 15%, which is nice, but currently the markets do not reflect the current condition of the US economy at the moment. I think there's definitely millions of Americans without a job. So it's a little frustrating when investors start throwing their money back at the markets thinking that this pandemic that we're going through is going to go away in a month and that companies are going to recover financially and people can just go back to work and start spending money to get the economy flowing again. That's just what this rally has been showing, and I just don't think that's how it should be playing. There's an underlying, negative foundation underneath these markets that I don't think this is sustainable at the moment. And that's just kind of my rant and my opinion on what I think about the markets at the moment. Now I could be wrong and everything could be very well back on its way to normal, but like I said before, I don't think things are just going to go back to normal in like a month or two. I think this is going to take probably until 2021 before companies start to see, start to recover and go back to being somewhat close to normal. Okay, so now that I talked a little bit about that, let's go down to Carnival Cruise. Oh, whoops. Let's go to Carnival Cruise and let's look at definitely my worst investment I've ever made. I started with $781 and now I'm down almost 73% or $533.99. I originally got into this company back in January and early January, late December. I got into this company because they were set up to go ahead and start making a lot of money in the next couple, 2-3 years. But since the pandemic started, things have definitely changed. And the other reason that I got into this company was because my main goal for this year is to create a consistent, passive monthly dividend income. And since they just cut their dividend, I'm kind of debating if this is a company that I should still be invested in since it's not producing the goal that I wanted to from when I first originally invested in this company. So now let's compare their income statements so you can see what my thought process was when I first invested in this company versus what my thought process is now. So in the fourth quarter of 2019, the company had made $4.781 billion worth of revenue, and then in the first quarter of 2020, they actually increased their revenue and made $4,790 worth of revenue. If we look at their net income in the last quarter of 2019, they made a total of $423 million worth of profit, but then the first quarter of 2020, they ended up losing money. They lost negative $781 million. So that just happened because that's when all the cruises started getting canceled. There was a bunch of outbreaks going on because of this pandemic, and that's just the whole flip. Usually companies see a gradual regression in earnings, but in this case, it was a complete flip, and that definitely raises some eyebrows and makes you want to take a second look at this company. But wait, there's definitely more. Let's go out to the balance sheet and check out how they were doing quarterly. So in the last quarter, their total cash was $518 million. And then at the end of the first quarter of 2020, their cash actually increased to $1.3 billion. But how can that be when in that same quarter, they ended up losing almost $1 billion? So how can they lose money but ended up having more cash at the end of the quarter? Well, this basically happened because they had to raise money, and the only way they could raise money was through debt. Since all cruises were getting canceled due to this pandemic, Carnival Cruise was not going to be able to survive without making money. And the worst thing is that this debt that they accrued is at an extremely high rate. So if we scroll down to their current debt, we'll see that their total debt right now sits at $14 billion. So $14 billion worth of debt versus around $1.5 billion worth of cash and cash equivalents. A lot of debt, not a lot of cash. So this is exactly why I like to make these types of videos, because I think it's important for everybody to be educated financially in order to have some sort of cash reserve whenever there's an emergency that happens. For example, if your car breaks down, you're able to pay that off without having to hurt your wallet. We don't want to be caught in a situation like Carnival Cruises here that, a pandemic came, and granted, I understand that this is something that happens, maybe once every 100 years, and you can never predict when something like this is going to happen, but they could have had a little more cash. For the size of the company, they could have had a little more cash in their reserves in order to be able to survive this a little easier than they are actually now. But anyways, based on the numbers that I've shared with you today, along with other factors, I have some decisions to make as to whether I want to stay involved with this company or sell it. Based on the fundamentals alone, this is a company that you do not even want to touch with a 10-foot pole. They went from a company that was making money to a company that was losing money from one quarter to the other. They're a company that had to take out a lot of debt in order to be able to make it at least through the 2020 year. And lastly, one of the most important things to me is that this company cut their dividend, which doesn't help my financial goal of creating a consistent monthly passive income stream. Although I do think that out of all the big cruise companies, Carnival Cruise is probably the one that's going to make it out to the other side and be able to make money again in the future. I don't think that future is coming anytime soon. I want to say maybe they get back to normal by mid-2020, definitely around 2021. That's just my opinion on what I think of the company. I'll definitely keep you posted on what I decide to do with this company in a future video. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you got to learn a lot about what it takes to make decisions with a shifting company and in a shifting market. Let me know what your opinion is down in the comments, and as always, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps support the growth of this channel, and I would really much appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.